Look, I know the title is insane. I get it. That's why he clicked. But just hear me out for a few minutes. Ever since I was in, let's say, middle school, honestly, one of the dudes who I looked up to the most as far as, creativity and celebrity goes is Donald Glover, or Childish Gambino. And if you're familiar with him, you're probably familiar with the dialogue that he faced within the black community of not really being black.
And let's be clear, it's 2 white people up for a Grammy this year. Iggy Azalea and Childish Gambino.
Childish Gambino's white.
All right.
And in his TV show Atlanta, he had a scene in there that really encapsulated what that's like for people like me and him on a day-to-day basis. It was like the first and second episode of Atlanta, and this white dude is talking to Earn, and this white dude says the N-word when he's talking to Earn because he doesn't see Earn as a threat, essentially.
We needed a real DJ. This dude, well, he can't spin with his shit, but then he goes and he plays Flow Rider. No. Back to back. So I calmly pulled him aside, and I was just like, really, nigga? You actually said that? Yeah, I had to. Cool.
And the scene spoke very deeply to me as a young suburban black man, because not only am I put in situations like this all the time, this exact situation happened to me with my general manager at my old job. It's probably like 2-3 years ago at this point. I was talking to my general manager and I asked him what kind of music he liked, and he was like, oh, he's like listening to all the genres and stuff that he listened to, and he's like, like I listen to some rap like here and there, but I don't like a lot of the new rap because a lot of it is just nigga this, nigga that, and that shit rolled off his tongue so effortlessly because he was talking to me, the young, early 20s, weighed like a $130 soaking wet like me, and not like the bigger, stronger nigga with 2 felonies on the grill. And that in itself isn't just some one-off situation. If you're a young suburban black guy, then you know that shit like this happens to us all the fucking time. Currently, I work in the food and beverage industry in South Carolina, and it sounds exactly how you think it sounds. Hell, just last week at my job, we were dealing with some dude who got drunk and was calling everybody the hard R and the F slur, and like it was crazy. I'm glad I wasn't working. But this next instance I'm gonna tell you about is something that happened while I was at work, and it happened to me directly. I'm waiting this table, I'm serving this older white couple. The man, the husband, he sees me come up to the table, immediately pissed off. But at this point, stuff like that doesn't even faze me that much, because I mean, like, I've dealt with like actual Klansmen face to face before in my life, so it's like it's whatever. If you hate me, fine. But as the night is continuing and I'm continuing to be very nice and cordial with these people, I'm getting them their wine, their salads, and everything else that they wanted, they started to lighten up a little bit, and they actually kind of started to, laugh and joke and kind of like me. So this older lady at the table, she's eating the braised short rib, and she starts asking me, what all they put in it, how we braise it, the time, just the whole process. Now, me being a person who is a server, bartender, and grill cook at my job, I'm able to tell her all these processes because literally I was in there cooking a few hours earlier. So I give her the ingredients, the cook time, this, that, and the third, and she's like, oh wow, that's really good. Like I like to cook and stuff, and I just bought some short rib and I was gonna make some for this clan meeting coming up. And her saying that rolled off of her tongue so effortlessly that I didn't have time to be fucking surprised. I was just like, oh well, I'm glad you like it. But the point that I'm getting at here is that there is a reason that it was me that she felt comfortable saying that shit to. And here is another instance that really ties this all together, and why I'm using the verbiage that I'm using now, and why the title is what it is and all that. So in like the middle school, high school era, there was this girl, and we rode the same bus, lived in the same neighborhood, went to the same school, this, that, and the third. And me and her kind of like were intimately involved in some sort of way. And naturally, based on the context of this video and how my stories have been going, yes, she was white. Oh, here he go again, the bunny hopping winter soldier. Shut up! Anyways, she was being raised by her grandparents, and her grandparents weren't all the way happy with the fact that she was interested in somebody of a different race. But even with that being the case, her grandparents liked me a lot. So at the time, I'm having a conversation with this girl about this situation because, like, naturally, I'm uncomfortable with the fact that her family isn't the biggest fan of me because of how I look. And she was like, oh no, my grandma said she liked you. She said that you were a good boy. Nigga. A good boy. A good boy. So, with the situation at my job a few years back, the situations that have happened in my current job in the past couple weeks, me being a good boy those years ago, I got to thinking. And I got to really self-reflecting and all that stuff. Do I want to be a good boy? Do I really want to tone down my blackness? Whatever the fuck that means, and be deemed one of the good ones so I could easily integrate myself into more white spaces? When I think about it, not really, because I mean, at the end of the day, if these white people have a preconceived notion about me because I'm black, and then they hear my diction and all that shit, and they're like, oh, well, maybe he's one of the good ones. He's not a spear chucking, knuckle dragging watermelon muncher. Me being a good one isn't going to change shit for them at the end of the day. But nonetheless, this video is just really me sharing my issues with being one of the good ones and falling under these set of rules when I don't have rules for myself. I really just be existing, doing the things that I want and accomplishing the goals that I set for myself. And I don't really bind myself into anything outside of those things. I mean, like, I really don't even know what the fuck I'm gonna say next. Like, I don't know, man. All the good boys, hop in the comments. Tell me if you have any stories like mine, and yeah, let's talk about racism in America. I guess I don't fucking know. That's it for the video. I keep getting phone calls. My phone's about to die. So like, comment, subscribe. Love you guys. Outro.
Two things I ain't ever seen. A nigga that beat a gun and bitch I need.